Hi all, hello. This is my first attempt at doing a video after having met Paul Bashir last week, and he said that veganism was the baseline and we need to all be activists and to think about how to be activists. So I'm going to give this a go. I don't know if I'll be any good at it, but bear with me. So I just wanted to share a little story about me. I'm a mum of 2 children. I've got a 10 and a 7-year-old sons. They're both vegan. My husband's vegan too, and I am. But we weren't. So anyway, I've seen the light. So it's been about 1.5 years for me and the children, and my husband's. So this story goes back to when I was pregnant with my first. I was delighted. I was an older mum. I was 35. Absolutely over the moon to be pregnant. And wanted to do everything naturally. I wanted a water birth. I wanted to use real nappies. And I wanted to breastfeed. That was the most important thing. So the birth came along, and it was pretty awful actually. I had to have an emergency cesarean, so the water birth was gone. Afterwards I was exhausted. I had a bit of postnatal depression. Real nappies just didn't work. My son got ill, and that was no good at all, so that was gone. As for the breastfeeding, well, my son is an awkward little thing. Still is, bless him. And wouldn't take from me. So for the first week he lost a lot of weight. He just couldn't get breastfeeding at all. And for a lot of women it's not as natural as you'd hope, but I didn't get perhaps as much support as I could have done. So I struggled, and after a week the midwife said, look, he's really losing weight. He's lost 20% of his birth weight. We need to do something now. You're going to express into a cup. Well, express, and then put it in a cup and gave it to him. And he was a different little chap. He was full up, you could see, full up to his eyes with milk, happy for the first time really, because he hadn't been happy. And I knew that I needed to do something else, that breastfeeding wasn't working. So I started to express as per the guidelines. I expressed into a bottle, through the machine, and started getting the hang of that. And then I would feed it to him, and it was horrible. It wasn't what I wanted. I'm breastfeeding with a pump. He's taking it through a bottle. But he was still getting my milk, so that was fine. But the thing about breastfeeding and expressing is that you have no idea when to stop, really. You go until your breast is empty, and then you go onto the other breast and empty that. And that's, sorry, too much information, but it's a way to screw up normal routine. Because a baby will feed until they're full, and they will only take what they need, and then you replenish it, and then they're hungry again, you replenish it, and the baby is telling your body how much it needs, right? With me, I completely messed it up and was pumping far too often, far too much. I had spare bottles in the fridge. I was pouring breast milk away. Never quite got the fact that I was producing just too much milk. I would stand in the shower and I would produce milk. I mean, it's disgusting. It's not the sort of thing that a woman does normally. I screwed it up. And I was so uncomfortable in between expressing. I had to put cabbage leaves in my massive bra just to relieve the pressure, right? Sorry, too much information again. However, I was told by somebody, you can't go on like this. I was expressing, I was depressed, it was horrible. And after a couple of months of doing this, I started to get the message, can't do this, it's horrid. But what I'm trying to make the point is, that is what we are doing to cows. We are over pumping them. They are producing way more than a calf would need. They are uncomfortable, they get mastitis, the tax upon their body is disgusting. And the worst thing is, they don't even do it for their own child. Their baby has been taken away. That milk is not being wasted, but it's being stolen. Now, if you're a mother, you might get that. To know that your baby is gone, and yet you've still got to express. You've still got to keep going. And then less than a year later, you'll be pregnant again, and the same thing will happen again. My God, can you imagine it? Can you imagine using a breast pump for no reason except that somebody is taking that product away from you? I mean, that is exhausting for a start. Your body is exhausted, depleted, in pain, as well as grieving for that baby that's not yours anymore, that's gone. We've got to wake up, guys. We've got to realise that cows are mammals. All the mammals in the world only produce milk for their own young. And it is exploitation and abuse to keep taking that when we know the truth. That's all I've got to say for now. Thank you. Bye.